Hello everyone! So it's the end of week 1 of Mermay, and I thought I'd share this week's mermaids with everyone here on YouTube. This mermaid is from day 1 and she's a whale shark mermaid. I decided to design all of my mermaids after different fish and sea creatures and take as many of the features as I could from the originals to incorporate into my mermaids. With this whale shark mermaid, I knew I wanted to make the most of these dots on her tail pattern and bring them up on her shoulders, arms, and face. And I also wanted to give her face a little whale shark look to it. You know how they have those big mouths and tiny eyes on each side of their head? I couldn't go that extreme. I mean, I could, but that would have looked... So I gave her just a very wide smile and shrunk down the size of her eyes from the original sketch and made the space in between them wider. I think she ended up with a really cute face. That's actually my favorite part of this mermaid. Her hair, on the other hand, gave me a little bit of trouble because I couldn't figure out a hairstyle for her, and I wanted to use her hair to show movement, like she's making a really fast turnaround in the water. And I think it worked out pretty well in the end. I don't know, what do you think? So that is it for day 1 of Mermay. Day 2 of Mermay you have already seen if you watched my first video of Mermay, and that is the narwhal mermaid. If you haven't seen it, check out the link here or in the description box below when you're finished with this video. Of all the mermaids that I've done so far, I think she's still my favorite, but I'm still on week 1, so that's liable to change. Since I already talked about her in my previous video, I'm just going to take this time to tell you a little bit about the program that I'm using. I'm doing all of my mermaids digitally this year and designing and drawing all of them in Procreate on my iPad. And the cool thing about Procreate is that it automatically time-lapses all of your work so that you can export the video as an MP4 file and then edit it in any video editing software. I really love this feature, and that is what I used for all of the speed paints you see here. And there is day 2's mermaid. Day 3 is a sea dragon mermaid. Sea dragons are so fascinating. They are on my list of favorite sea creatures. I got my first chance to see one in person last year, and let me see if I can find a photo of the little booger. Oh, better yet, I've got a video of him. Look at him. Isn't he so adorable and unearthly at the same time? So I knew I wanted to incorporate their little teardrop shaped fins into the face and hair of my mermaid, so I gave her these large colorful feathery lashes and this loopy half ponytail half bun hairstyle. I love the gradient colors and natural complementary color scheme these little fellas have, but these little white dots took me as much time as the line art. And there we have day 3 of Mermay. Day 4 is a neon Tetra mermaid. I used to have neon Tetras when I was younger. We had a huge 50-gallon fish tank and a lot of adorable and colorful fish. I always loved the little neon Tetras because they were so tiny and swam in schools, and when they would turn a corner, there was this bright flash of color. And it was by day 4 that I realized that all of my mermaids up to this point had no clothes on because I am terrible at designing outfits. If they are not based on modern clothing or historical outfits that I can use references for, I am terrible at designing them. It is my biggest weakness. I wanted to keep everything PG on this channel though, so I started adding clothes at this point. And as you can see, it's still nothing fancy. I didn't really want to go the clamshell bra route, but I couldn't think of a good outfit, so I just gave her a simple white tube top. And this way it doesn't detract from their body design, which is what I mainly was focusing on anyways, or at least that's my excuse, and I'm gonna stick with that until I think of a better one. And there is day 4 of Mermay. Day 5 of Mermay. I was feeling a bit of art block, or at least art exhaustion. Not that I didn't have ideas, I just didn't want to pick up my pencil to draw them. So I went with something that I thought would be easy to execute. I did a koi mermaid because they are so flowy and elegant, and I could use lots of round shapes and curved lines, which is my jam. So I sketched her pose out what felt like a million times before I found one that I liked. And I know it looks like I'm trying to hide her hands here, but while tricky, hands are one of my favorite things to draw, so I'm not sure why I hid them in her hair. I didn't do it very well though. One thing that I was happy with was the pattern on her tail. I used a splatter spray paint brush and then went back in with a pencil brush to reinforce some of the shapes, and I love what the highlight did to the colors once I added it at the end. And there we have day 5 of Mermay. Day 6 of Mermay. I had a request to do a stingray mermaid, and while I was sketching out ideas I thought, I haven't had a merman yet, and last year when I did this challenge I had no merman at all, so I decided to make this one a merman. Y'all gave me good practice drawing pecs in my 6 fan arts challenge last month, so I figured I'd put those skills to good use in this challenge. So you will be seeing multiple mermen throughout this month. I am still much more comfortable designing female characters, mostly because I cannot figure out men's hairstyles. I don't know what to do with hair swoops and what to do with the nape of the neck. Needless to say, there was a lot of Googling of men's hairstyles to figure these out. I have to say though, he does have some nice hair, and I like the color too. If I could pick a color for my hair that isn't a natural color, I would go with this dark navy. I also love the speckle pattern I added at the very end. It was kind of a last minute thing, and I think it was a good choice. So here is day 6 of Mermay and my first merman of the challenge. Day 7 is an octopus mermaid. I knew from the start I was going to do this one. These are my favorite sea creatures. I think I can say number 1 favorite. Can I? Yeah, I think so. If my character Stuart doesn't prove that I love these creatures, then I don't know what does. I've had a lot of experience drawing him, so the tentacles weren't very difficult for me, but boy did they make it time consuming to do the line art. I always recommend looking up reference photos, but I definitely recommend reference photos if you are thinking of drawing an octopus. They have a lot of appendages to keep track of, and none of them really have any anchor points. And yes, you can only see 7 tentacles instead of 8 because one of them is curled up in front of her. Or at least that's the story I'm going with. Her coloring is based on this photo of what I believe is a common octopus. Pretty much all species of octopus can change colors, so it's hard to distinguish them by color. You really have to look for different features. And here is day 7's octopus mermaid. Day 8 is a catfish merman. Ooh, the face started off rough. I was trying, like with the whale shark, to make the mouth and eyes resemble the fish, but it did not look right, so I kept tweaking it until I was happy. I do love how his whiskers turned out though. It kind of reminds me of Haku from Spirited Away. And yes, I had to look up more reference photos for that hair. I think he ended up looking pretty handsome though, no? His coloring is based on a red-tailed catfish. I wanted to find some more fun and colorful freshwater fish to add to my mermaid collection, since I think last time I did this, most of my mermaids were saltwater fish. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job because I've already got 3 in the first week. We have the koi, the neon tetra, and the catfish. And there is day 8 of Mermay. Day 9, and the last mermaid of this video, a sea bunny sea slug. These are such adorable creatures, and I wanted to test myself to make a mermaid based on one. Since they are a sea slug and not a fish, I had to figure out something for the tail so that she still looked like a mermaid even without a fin. She kind of ended up looking like she rolled herself in a Snuggie, and I love that. I love her little antennae. They are so cute. The color scheme of sea bunnies is usually white, but a few of them had this pinkish antennae, so I ran with that color scheme and just made her all pink. If you have a favorite sea creature that you'd like to see turned into a mermaid, let me know in the comments below. Are you taking part in Mermay? If so, let me know in the comments where I can find your work so I can go and admire it. Are you following the official prompts, or are you just winging it like me? If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day. Bye.